Fisher-Price adventure people were truly the game changers when it came to action figures in the 1970s. Their infectiously fun combination of vehicle and figure were an instant hit with kids when they hit the shelves in 1975, and parents liked their non-violent play structure and the fact that these toys were literally indestructible. What's more important about the adventure people was that they didn't go unnoticed by other toy manufacturers, specifically Kenner. And by the end of the Polyester decade, we were literally awash in 3 3/4-inch goodness. Hello, I'm Brian, and welcome to Plaid Stallion's Toy-Ventures. This is a special episode where we pay tribute to one of the more fun toy lines of the 1970s, the Fisher-Price Adventure People, and I'm going to count down my top 10 favorite sets. Number 10, Daredevil Skydiver. In terms of Fisher-Price Adventure People, this set is a little minimalist, but it actually worked, and unlike a lot of the AHI or Poopa Troopers that you got as a kid, it wouldn't completely crap out after an hour of play. I had mine for years. It got stuck in many a tree, and I still have him, and I believe he still works. This, consequently, is the only Fisher-Price Adventure People set that I have in the box to this day, and I treasure it. Number 9, Air-Sea Rescue Helicopter. Okay, there's no way that this vehicle could fly in real life. It looks more like a kid's drawing of a helicopter than a real one. But this was an early vehicle, and it was super durable, and it came with 2 pilot figures that could occupy a kid for hours. I remember really wanting this as a kid. Number 8, Aero Marine Research Team. This combined a helicopter with a submarine, and that's always a safe bet for kids. This set also channels some of the popularity of the early 70s G.I. Joe sets by including a squid and a treasure chest. This is really well done. I was a little too old for Fisher-Price Adventure People by the time this rolled out, and I remember secretly really wanting it when I saw it in the wish books. Number 7, Daredevil Sport Van. This cool set harkens back to the time when there was a van with a groovy painting in every driveway on every cul-de-sac, and it includes a motocross bike, a parachute, and a kayak. You could still release this toy today. You just call it an extreme sports van, and you change the figures to have barbed wire tattoos, and it would be the exact same experience. Number 6, the TV Action Team. I have to admit, as a kid, I was a little crestfallen when I got this set. For me, it lacked the adventure I craved, and while I had no umbrage with getting a girl figure, the little plastic skirt seemed to be kind of crossing the line for me at 7 years old. I eventually used this to play Mary Tyler Moore. The older guy looked just like Ed Asner. I called the cameraman Murray, and I pretended that Mary Tyler Moore had been drastically recast. In hindsight, this is actually a great toy. All too often we get toys based on action and danger, but this was an interesting career, TV journalism, and it likely inspired a lot of people to work in that field. Also, that camera had a working lens. It was really well done. Number 5, Astro Knight. Rather than just make a simple hang-gliding figure, which, by the way, worked, it was awesome, Fisher-Price chose to go all Star Wars on this toy, and it totally jives. I personally used to imagine that the Astro Knights were an organization like Green Lanterns or Space Knights or Time Lords as a kid. I also want to tell you I did have friends. Number 4, Sea Explorer. Fisher-Price ran this set for years, mostly because it was just such a great idea. 2 sea explorers, a boat that works, and a dolphin that squirts water. Sometimes it's mistakenly presented as a flipper set. Also, if you were a kid who had this set and in 1978 didn't use it as a land speeder, what's wrong with you? As a side note to the durability of Fisher-Price, my son and I, about 10 years ago, were digging on the beach in the middle of nowhere and actually pulled up the sled from the Sea Explorer, and it's in perfect working order after being buried for what could have been 2 decades. Number 3, Wilderness Patrol. 3 men, their dog, and a plane, jeep, and boat. 2 sleeping bags. The highlight of this set was the well-made vehicles and the fact that all connected somehow. The minute I linked that boat to the plane, my young mind was blown. This is actually my childhood plane. It still exists. All of this stuff is probably still at my mom's house, including the figures. Number 2, Alpha Probe. With Star Wars being all the rage, the adventure people went to space, but they did it their own way and created the Alpha Probe, a quasi-space shuttle loaded with sounds and lights that made the X-Wing sound like crap. I can't tell you how many people write me about the Alpha Probe and how much fun they had with it as a kid. It was a very memorable space toy. I couldn't do this list without giving honorable mention to Firestar 1, a rather kind of unremarkable and simple space toy. This gets mentioned mainly because, as a kid, if you liked Battlestar Galactica, this was the closest thing to a Viper that you got that would fit a 3 3/4 inch action figure. Number 1, Wild Animal Safari. It's one of the earliest sets made. Wild Animal Safari made it under a lot of Christmas trees in those years. It's truly the perfect set, a combination of animals, vehicles, and adventure. There isn't a single weapon to be had, and there didn't need to be, although one has to assume the tiger is friendly. As a side note, this is my childhood gorilla, which I lost my first day of kindergarten, and there was an announcement about it. You'll notice the bottom actually has my initials because my mom was paranoid about people stealing my toys. This goes right in my case with my Star Wars figures. It is one of my most treasured pieces. So these are my top 10 picks for the best Fisher-Price Adventure People sets. I would like to hear yours. What did I miss? Share some of your happy Fisher-Price Adventure People memories with me here, either in the comments below, or you can hit me up in the Pod Stallions Facebook group. I'll leave a link in the description. If you're new to this, I hope you'll consider hitting like and subscribe. We do this every week. Until next time, take care, be well, and talk toys, not other people. Have a good one.